What's up, NBA fan? What's up, all sports fans? This your boy JB, hosted the Behind the Bench podcast network and channel, giving a shout out to the rest of the crew: Shy, Kelvin, Jermaine, KB Film Room, Big Dog Talk Sports. That's right, that's right. For everyone who's tuning in, thank you for supporting Behind the Bench. Subscribe to the channel, help make the show the best that it can be. Man, if people just only knew, man, if basketball fans only knew out there, man, you know, how happy I am, man, with a smile on my face and a great deal of satisfaction to see Julius Randle balling at the level that he has been doing so throughout this playoff, man. And what's funny is I believe the first round series facing his original team, the Los Angeles Lakers, as he's now representing the Minnesota Timberwolves, that set the tone, man. And I was so confident. See, the thing about it is, man, when you follow a player, I'm talking about like from his beginning stage of his career, and you really, instead of looking at the quote unquote negative aspects to their game, and you really zone in on the positive aspects and their abilities, you begin to understand what that player brings to the table. That's the mark of a great front office, general manager, scouting department. When you understand a player's value, when you show belief in a player, when a team or organization shows belief in a player, this is what happens, man. And the Minnesota Timberwolves believe in Julius Randle, man. And this is, I went over this 1,000 times about what happened to him, why he played what turned to be his final year with the Lakers, man. He played all 82 games. He did everything that was asked. But what I love about what Julius Randle did last night during his post-game press conference, as the Minnesota Timberwolves took a 3-1 series lead over the Golden State Warriors in their conference semifinals matchup, Randle said after the game, man, the challenges that he has faced and had to overcome during his career, which started off, by him breaking his leg in his first ever NBA game as a rookie. And he said that, his mentor, the late, great Kobe Bean Bryant, became a mentor to Julius Randle and helped, really understand what it takes to reach your potential as a player. And he got in the best shape of his career, man. He really focused on his game. And I always felt that Julius Randle was a more offensive-oriented version of Draymond Green. Draymond Green could facilitate. He's won Defensive Player of the Year. And Draymond Green, he knows how to play the game. But Julius Randle, to me, is better than that. And he showed that last night. And throughout this series, particularly the last two games, man, he's making life really difficult for Draymond Green and Jimmy Butler, man. Randle is a hell of a player. But when you're in a situation where you have to reestablish yourself after being let go by your original franchise, when you did everything they asked of you, it takes a while to navigate your way. And he had to bet on himself, after playing a year with the New Orleans Pelicans, then, eventually going to the New York Knicks. And he had to bet on himself, man. And because of him, it put the Knicks in position to develop the type of team they want to present and build over a period of time. And because of Julius Randle, they're not in that position. But now he's in a great situation, man, and I'm so happy. I'm just elated he's doing what he's doing, but I always knew he could do it, and it's not a surprise to me, but, I mean, he's playing just as good as anybody in totality in terms of what his role is on the team, was expected of him, and he's fulfilling it to a T. And I just want to throw this little tidbit out here, man. He has a knack for getting off the fast starts, as he did last night when he scored something like 19 points in the first quarter. Well, in two of his seasons with the New York Knicks, he led all players in points scored in the first quarter. So that's what you call, man. That's an attribute, man. That is a facet of the game, man, where it can contribute to winning. And this, like I said, man, I just be glad when this current situation with my squad is over, man, because it's really a drag. Same old talk, same old talking points, blame game, scapegoating, trades, players getting cut, waived. It's just, to me, it's utter nonsense, man. But Randle has steered the course, man, and he approached this series versus the Lakers, man, with precision. He didn't get outside of himself. He didn't try to, be the hero or not. As they say, he let the game come to him, and then he built off of that. And him and Anthony Edwards, the Ant-Man, although I do think Minnesota, they tend to play down to the level of the competition sometimes. And I think they rely on the three-point shot too much when they could be more effective utilizing the thrust that they have in the half-court set. At the end of the day, Minnesota is one game away from advancing to the Western Conference Finals for the second straight year. And I'm going to tell you, man, Randle is the type of player that when he get going, man, this team will mess around. They have to finish this. They have to win this series first and close it out. But they can mess around and go to the finals. If they advance to the next round, they can mess around and go to the finals. And I'm telling you, man, for all Laker fans out there, and I get it, man, we want to see the team win. I've said it, a million times. Everybody wants to see their team do good, but we would have been better just staying the course. Yes, we had the youngest team in the league in 2017, 2018 season. We had the youngest team in the league, but you figure, look at where we at. Look how fast the time goes by. It's 2025. So imagine we have stayed the course, and then when they came of age at the same time, pretty much at the same time, that would have happened around 2020. That would happen around 2020. And then you look back on it like, oh, man, that didn't take as long as we thought. So the missing ingredient in this whole equation was the most important attribute to, building a success for yourself. And that's patience. And that's what was lacking through this whole period of time. Whereas if patience had been exercised, Randle would still be a Laker. I'm gonna say 80% of that original young core would still be donning the purple and gold. But at the end of the day, kudos to Julius Randle. I expect this out of him, man. But you have to understand, when he competed in his first playoff in 2021 with the Knicks. Well, the Knicks hadn't been to the playoffs since like 2015 with prime Carmelo Anthony before he suffered that knee injury. And Randle was really the only scorer on the team as far as the starting five. And then he had Derrick Rose coming off the bench. So when they faced the Atlanta Hawks in the first round, when Atlanta Hawks was, they were playing, they had a heck of a postseason, man, with Trae Young and them. And they eventually went to the conference finals. Well, all they really had to do was zone in on Julius Randle in that first round, But now, man, that's why I say, when you are able to play and be part of a complete team, not a super team, not a stack team, but a complete team, then you can fulfill your ability as a player and show your value out there on the court, And I believe in Game 3, Julius Randle had a triple-double. You know what I'm saying? And then last night he scored 31 points, had 5 rebounds. They can't guard him, man. See, when you're in a situation, man, where, like I said, when the team believe in you, man, your game just seems like it just elevates itself by leaps and bounds. Next thing you know, man, can't nobody deal with you. Can't nobody guard you. And that's what happened to Julius Randle right now. So I just want to drop that, man. I'm elated. I'm excited. Can't wait for the next game. And if they reach the conference finals, man, they have an opportunity to go to the NBA finals with an original member, with a member of the original young core. Their whole young core was devalued. And to rationalize casting him out, this narrative was kicked out saying, well, they can't contribute to winning. What have they done? Well, they're doing it now. And like I said, they had been doing it the whole time together as a unit. They would have started to elevate with the right star player anchoring them. They would have started to elevate. They made their first championship run in 2021. I believe that with all my heart and all my soul. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is now. Once again, they scrambling, trying to figure it out. Moves, trades. Meanwhile, man, Julius Randle sitting there beasting. He balling. And so that's why I say he casted no aspersions to the Lake organization after Minnesota defeated them, man. He acted very professional. That's why I say them young men were the character that they have had to show and display during this whole process when they've been undervalued time and time again or overlooked time and time again. It shows you how special they really were as first of all, as people, and then as professional athletes. They show more character than the people who should be showing character, who's supposed to be the so-called main representative of this this league called the National Basketball Association. You know what I'm saying? But as they say, eventually, the cream rises to the top. And I'm telling you, I'm not predicting that they're going to win the championship. But, man, I mean, either way, man, Alex Caruso with the OKC Thunder, if they win a championship, hey, I'm celebrating. If Josh Hart and New York Knicks go to the final and win a championship, hey, I'm celebrating. And if Julius Randle, the original member of the first ever true bona fide young core of the NBA in the modern era, if he contributes to a championship, celebrating like no tomorrow. So it's a win-win for me. That's how I look at it, man. Because when I watch them play, in my mind, I see them wearing that purple and gold jersey. That's just how my mind reacts to the situation. You know what I'm saying? But I just want to drop that, man, once again. Jay Randle, baby. He showed who he is, dog. And, he gave props to Kobe Bean Bryant. And in regards to why he's become the player that he's showing right now. That wow, man, it don't get no better than that. But please leave your comments and thoughts. Let us know what you're thinking. Let us know what you're feeling. And for Shy KB, Jermaine, Kelvin, and Big Dog Talk Sports, this is JB. This is your show, BTB. This is Behind the Bench.